We're going to try something new. I'm going to try it down here. Because, you know, I like you to look up my nose. Isn't it pretty up in there? Anyway. Trying something new with the audio as well. Like the microphone that's on the... That's over here now. Anyway, the microphone that's on the camera is... well, let's just face it. It's not really made to record audio over here. It's made to record audio right here. So I thought, well, shit, I'll get one of those earbud things, put a piece of tape on it, wrap up the earbuds, and stuff one of them down my shirt because that's hot. Anyway, the reason for the piece of tape is it kind of makes a little funnel for the sound that only comes from one direction, which is towards the pie hole. Love pie. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a shot. Let me know what you think. There's the comments, and the comments are over. Anyway, tell me, does it sound better? Are you happy with this? Because there's a reason for that. You might have noticed in the last video I was sweating like a motherfucker. I ain't sweating in this one. My air conditioner's running. I'm comfortable. It's not boiling temperature of the sun hot right now. According to my thermometer stat, it is 109 degrees outside, which I'm sitting still. The thermometer is not exactly accurate. It's probably 10 or 15 degrees below that, but that's still pretty freaking hot. And I'm pretty freaking fat, so it's a bad combo. It makes me sweat. But now this way, I got my AC running on high, and you probably can't even hear it. I like this setup a lot better. I do. And you get to see the full glory of the fat man's scruffy goat. Meh, meh. Anyway, yeah. Not doing global warming talk in this one. That mofo had 20 views before I could share it. That last video. Because people they're like, oh, flat earth. Oh, you know, global warming. Oh, this and that. Like chemtrails. Fucking really? It's because people can't think. They can't look up. You know, they can't. They're too busy, you know, watching CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. You know. Like, it's agenda driven, okay? If you're watching that stuff, you're watching someone's agenda. It's an agenda. Like, as in, okay, here's a story about car crashes. How can we make that about our agenda? That's what they say before they produce a news story for you to watch. And I'm not kidding. It's agenda driven. If it feeds their narrative, they will roll on with that shit. You want evidence of that? Like, I don't care about the big orange man anymore than anybody else does. But, rewind. They talked about Russia conspiracies to make Trump win for a year straight. Every fucking day. And there was no news. All that shit happened before the election. There was no news. Nothing new for a year straight. But they talked about it for a year straight. That's agenda. That's how you can tell. If they talk about the same shit all the time, if you see the same story on the TV for 5 days straight, it's an agenda. Now, I know you're thinking, well, what about September 11th? And that was really brutal. And, oh, we had to see footage of that shit over and over for a year straight. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. It sucked. It sucked. It was a tragedy. It was sad. It went away. Eventually, the building stopped smoking. They built a new damn tower. It took a long time for the new tower to go, but the thing is, it was over when the smoke stopped. It was over when they stopped finding bodies. It was over a long time before they stopped talking about it. But all the Bushenites, yeah, I call them that, they still had to have their daily fix of fear, their daily fix of, you know, the world is melting. Oh, well, we need to go and hire more people to go shoot people that are brown from the Middle East or whatever. You know, and then we, you know, this great and wondrous fear of Al-Qaeda. Oh, they're evil, Al-Qaeda. Yeah, I should put on a bat horn. Al-Qaeda. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they, like, there was nothing to that. Like, that was, as this really great term came up recently, it was a nothing burger. There was nothing there. Like, was Al Qaeda involved? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's, with some reports from the mainstream media as told to them by the government about 19 hijackers. It's possible. There was these reports of people that I didn't know, and none of them were me. That's the thing. Like, if it's not you, how do you really know? Well, you got to trust the government, and you got to trust the news. Well, we've all seen what the hell they do on the news. 5 minutes after whatever the hell his name was came out, I'm terrorist. Mueller, I think is his last name, came out and said there was nothing to do with Russia. It wasn't even 5 minutes. Like I say that. Wolf Blitzer on CNN, he turns this way. Well, according to, Mr. Mueller, of the people that know and are in charge of finding out if Russia was involved, they said there's no Russia conspiracy. Turns his head this way. We have this in from a highfalutin wonder conspiracy fucking source over in Washington that Trump colluded with the Russians. And we have a definite proof. And then we'll go to a commercial break and be right back. What the fuck, people? No, I'm not going to show you the clip. Go look it up. It's like everywhere. Like they just they tell you what they want you to hear, not what you need to know. Do you need to know everything that goes on in the world every day? No, you don't. If you have a favorite news channel, you're like, oh, well, I like CNN because Fox News is bullshit. You're wrong. I like Fox News because CNN is bullshit. You're wrong. I like MSNBC because CNN is bullshit. You're wrong. All of them, you're wrong. If you like one of them, you're not paying attention. There's a reason why they tell 3 different stories about the same thing. Come on, get over that. It is so bass-ackwards with our media. They don't do you a service. They're not helping you learn things. If you watch on like Sundays, it's a slow news day or whatever, there's nothing to talk about. They always have these things like on Fox News, because, I listen. I have an XM radio, and yeah, I listen to that. Like Ollie North, whatever, talks about, war stories or whatever. It's an interesting show. I've listened to it a few times. And then, like, CNN's got some true crime where they found a lady's finger, and then they went and looked, and then they found the rest of her body, and they sued somebody so they could get the information, but that wasn't enough, so they had to build a criminal case, and 25 years later, this guy finally gets convicted. What? It's like the craziest stuff. They call it cold case or whatever. It's like, what the hell? What a weird thing to talk about on a news channel. News. As it's new, not old. But they make it to where it's salacious and it's exciting to watch, so they get ratings. If they do that on Sunday because there's nothing real to talk about, what do you think they're talking about the real shit? They're making it up. I mean, at least from some perspective that is going to fit their agenda. At the very least, they're going to tell you a little tiny bit about the good things and a whole bunch about the bad things about whatever fits their agendized narrative. I'm not kidding. Seriously, if you pay attention, you'll see that. But if you don't pay attention, you don't watch all 3 of them and realize it's all a bunch of crap. You see that? That was cool. Oh my gosh, I spit. It was like right into the camera. One of them's going to hit the camera. I should probably do that. Anyway, that's it. Like, really. And if you get no benefit from this, good. Because I don't get any benefit from saying it. I'm not, like, monetized or whatever. I'm trying to make the point, that you can have a video that's not completely full of shit. I am rendering opinion. I am not the fucking news. The news renders opinion, and you think it's supposed to be news because they lie to you. Put that in your mouth and suck on it. Yeah, I use this info. I'm old. I still smoke these. I'm old. Why don't you vape? Why don't you get you a cigarette pen? Because I'm old. Fuck you. That's why. Anyway. Like, share, subscribe. up, down with the thumbs, wherever the fuck they're at. And leave a shitty comment. Call me a paranoid. Go ahead.